You Wear It Well by Rod Stewart. Groan time now. Maybe I should call the feature that. No, I'm not going to rename it. On Saturday morning at 4:10, I was asleep. You probably were too. It was at this time an alarm started chirping in my bedroom. There was one brief beep, but this woke me up, as you would expect. I did what anyone else would do, ignore it, hoping it would go away. It did not. It beeped again and continued to do so once a minute. I got up and discovered it was my carbon monoxide alarm signalling it was old, and at the end of its life it was 7-8 years old and they don't last forever. Why it couldn't have waited a few hours to tell me this, we'll never know, but I had to do something about it. I've several of these alarms in my house, and it was extra typical that the one in my bedroom started to sound early in the morning. If it was the one in the utility room, for example, I probably could have left it for a bit. And a reminder, it wasn't saying carbon monoxide was present, thank goodness, just that the alarm needed replacing. It was mounted on the ceiling and I couldn't get this thing off the retaining bracket. It was somehow clipped on, so I had to go to YouTube to find an instructional video on how to remove it. This video wasn't in English, obviously, but that didn't matter. It was the visuals I was after, and it turned out the retaining clip was out of my vision. That part of the device was facing the wall, and I could just about get a screwdriver in there and pry it off, which I did, and then it stopped beeping. This is also one of those devices, it turns out, that dictates some stuff. It's got a built-in battery, so if the battery ever went flat before the unit's end of life, you couldn't change it. And this annoys me, as lots of stuff has built-in batteries now. Anything from alarms to electric razors, toothbrushes and laptops. When the batteries die, you've basically got to buy a whole new device. Anyway, I bought a new carbon monoxide alarm. The old model had long been discontinued, but I was looking at the mounting bracket for the replacement model and thought, I might be lucky here. I wanted to reuse the existing screw holes on the ceiling, so I compared the new bracket to the old one, and one screw lined up. The other was 5mm out. In the end, I managed to fit the new one by slightly angling the screws, and it's fine, it's not going to go anywhere. But what genius engineer thought, hey, let's change the product by moving the screw holes just a little bit.